lights. My headphones are working.
I don't know. Those you never charge those.
I know, but I turn them off when we're done.
Do you know?
I do.
So guess how many breweries I hit up? Your number was slightly lower because I hit a couple after you did.
17?
I think yours was either 16 or 17.
Okay.
Mine was 18.
Oh, I was very close, though.
Not bad for...
If this was The Price is Right, I would have won an award for that.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't go over.
What do you win?
This delicious beer I'm about to have.
Oh, right. All right, hold on. Let me check this. All right, we're 30 seconds in.
All right.
And there has not been a sound of a beer cracking yet. What you drinking there, bud?
I am drinking from Slice Brewing, the Astounding Mystery Hazy IPA.
I bet you that's going to be fantastic. I really enjoyed Slice, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Let's take a look at this guy.
What do you have over there?
I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. Is it Moxa or Moxa?
I have been saying Moxa,
Yeah, that's what
but
I've
I'm
been
not 100% sure.
This is the Pacific Street IPA. This is a Westie.
I bet that's also a delicious beer.
And I'm pretty sure this isn't my beer that we came home with. I think this is Schmatty's beer that I'm drinking.
Is it?
I
Is it
think
really
so.
now? You're drinking beers from his wedding?
Yeah. So for those who are not in the privy, we actually traveled to a location and went and had beers that were not around Washington.
Yes, we did.
We actually magically made it down to San Francisco, Oakland, a little bit of Sacramento, and a little bit of Auburn, California.
Yeah, beautiful Auburn, California.
Auburn, California was nice.
Yeah, it was actually cute. It sounded sarcastic, but it is a cute town.
It is significantly nicer than Auburn, Washington.
Yeah, that's not a high bar.
Oh, poor. We lost all three
Oh,
Auburn
bummer.
listeners. Auburn, you're fine.
No, Auburn is fine.
You guys have a mall.
It's a super mall.
It is a super mall. And you have Auburn Golf Course, which has the most uphill hole in the history of the world. Hole 11. It's just like straight uphill.
More so than the one in Maplewood? Like hole 2 or something?
Oh, yeah, way more than that.
Okay, yeah, because I dislike that hole.
Now you haven't-
Hi.
Your dog hasn't been on you all day, but as soon as you sit down for a podcast, he needs your attention.
Yes, he does.
This is not a healthy relationship you guys
We're
have.
fine. Everything's fine.
Okay, so we went to the Bay Area. That's what the key of things. We actually went a week and a half ago, I guess. We're behind a week in podcasting or whatever it is.
At least a week behind in podcasting.
But you know what's even more enjoyable is we actually have another beer trip lined up.
We do.
I'm excited to announce that we're going to be going to Juneau, Alaska.
All right.
Why not? You've never been to Alaska.
I have not.
I haven't been to Alaska since I was legal to drink, so that's like over 20 years.
I feel like that means you've never been to Alaska.
I mean, I have technically been to Alaska because I have pooped in Alaska.
Do you remember Alaska?
Yeah, I remember it.
Okay.
I was like a teenager.
Oh, okay. Okay, so then you have kind of been there.
But I have a saying that you haven't been to a state unless you poop in that state.
Okay.
So I've been to Alaska.
Okay.
I've been to Tennessee.
All right.
These are some other places where I've been to.
Okay. This podcast is taking a very, very different turn.
I've been to Delaware.
Okay. So anyway, we went down to the Bay Area. We had some friends who were getting married, and we traveled down there to go to their wedding, and decided to tack on a couple extra days at the beginning and the end.
Just enough for me to hit 18 breweries up.
Yep.
I feel like that doesn't necessarily make me an expert of the Bay Area / Sacramento breweries, but it gives me a good understanding. Is that a squeak? Can people hear a squeaky toy in the back of this?
Yes,
thing?
I can hear the squeaky toy.
Thank you, Bjorn. We're such professionals at this.
He really wanted to be on the podcast.
So before we get going, overall opinion of the beer scene that we went down to?
I would say that I wasn't overly impressed with San Francisco itself, but...
And I've heard that from several people, that San Francisco proper,
yeah,
it's fine. I think there's a couple that really stood out to me.
Yeah, there was a few I liked, but I actually kind of liked Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland has
I
a
liked
vibe.
Drinking in Oakland better.
Oakland has a vibe that's a little more down to earth. That squeaky toy.
Do you want to take that away from him?
Okay, Bjorn, give me the
donut.
Give me the donut. No, now it's a game. It's a game of get the donut from the dog. It's not a real donut. Now he's just throwing it to himself. This is all right. So let's go back and let's
Should we start at the beginning?
start at the beginning. I'm gonna go right down the beginning, and we're talking about things we like. So we started off at a place we became highly recommended to us, And the beer itself was fantastic. And we've been to this location before, not in San Francisco, I guess. I guess the brewery, not the location. But we've been to it in Reykjavik. But Mikeller Brewing. Sam, tell me how you feel about that place.
I wish that they did small pours.
Yeah, Sam asked for a small pour or a half pint or a schooner, and they just straight up said no.
That could have been the bartender that we had too, though. That it was very weird, though.
I tweeted that out, and people are like, "Isn't like you're just encouraging people to get drunk or pay more money?" It's like that's the silliest thing is to be like, no, you have to drink a 16-ounce pour.
Yeah, no, I thought that was really weird.
The beer selection there was fantastic, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically I only checked in one beer, but I know I had two. But it was a long day of flying and drinking, so that makes sense that I may have not done the best job with my checking in. But the selection was fantastic. They have their own beers, and they're made Sweden. Where the heck is Mikkeller original? I always forget.
I did like the graphic design. Like I liked the artwork on their glasses and stuff.
Oh, everything about that place is very cool. It's just there was one thing that really stood out.
And it was that they wouldn't give me the half pour.
And then how much it smelled.
Yeah, I was not going to bring that up.
You have to. If people are going to go there, realize that it stank like shit.
Yeah, it did smell.
It
like
smelled
sewage.
it smelled like legitimately like sewage.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It made it kind of ruined the experience for me, to be honest. Like that's all I can kind of remember about it.
The wings were good, but you're eating wings. It's like eating wings while you're taking a dump.
That's why I only ate one wing. Like I was like, yeah, I just can't. I can't like put food in my mouth while it smells like this.
Hold on for a second. I'm pausing this, but nobody will ever know. All right.
Did we just time travel?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what happened is I run an Airbnb also, and someone couldn't figure out how to use the thermostat. So I changed it remotely because technology is pretty awesome. But anyways, Mikkeller. I mean, I didn't have their beer at a Russian River because when you're down in the Bay Area, having a Russian River is something you're supposed to do. And it was fine. I don't hop on the Russian River bandwagon like a lot of people do. I don't like sours. I think they're up their own ass a little bit at times.
I think that Pliny is a little bit overrated, but the beer that Gibbs brought before the wedding, which was a Russian River beer, I thought was really good. So
Okay, well,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
But anyways, that was Mikkeller. Then you went back to bed. I went to a place called Johnny Foley's Irish House. Oh, no, you went to me with that one. It's you didn't make it to me to Sam's Cable Car Lounge.
Definitely did not. I would have remembered that.
These are just a couple bars in San Francisco. Both were kind of cool. The Irish House, traditional Irish. Did we get food there? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
And then the Cable Car Lounge, I was crushing some Kolsch's there. It was.
This slice beer is very good, by the way.
It's the slice beer. The Cali Coast Kolsch from Cali Craft Brewing Company. Crushed a bunch of those because I've been in the mood for Kolsch's.
Yeah, that's right. You did crush a bunch of Kolsch's that night, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes you got to crush Kolsch's.
Anyway. Okay.
I'm into Kolsch's right now.
I know. You have been.
All right. That was the end of that night.
Okay.
What happened? Tell me a little bit about your experience at Bubba Gump.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like I got kind of ripped off at Bubba Gump. So I purposefully ordered a drink there that you get a souvenir glass with, and went over to the little gift shop next door to get my souvenir glass because they wouldn't let me take the one that I actually drank out of, and they were out of them. And then they tried to give me a crappy plastic cocktail shaker, and they were like, you can have a couple of these, and I was like, I want 0 of those, and I kind of want this Pilsner glass that I would already paid for in my $15 or $16 beverage.
I can't believe the fine establishment that is Bubba Gump Shrimp
really screwed me over.
You know what, maybe we should just finally end chain restaurants.
Bubba Gump.
I know. I don't know. What's that based on? Is a Back to the Future reference or something?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think it's
from E.T.
Tron?
Yeah.
That's where they went to in Tron. That's the Bubblegum Shrimps in Tron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you go into the video game and it's just bubblegum shrimps?
Yeah, that's actually the dream.
So it's like Pac-Man but with shrimp?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lieutenant Dan ain't got no legs.
Well, that's who's chasing you.
Lieutenant Dan with his no legs?
Yeah, he's the ghost.
Oh my god. Someone get high and make this movie.
I was like, did we not see the same movie?
I know. This is like tachos where you just stumble it on only when you're high. We're not high, folks. I haven't actually sipped my beer yet. Hold on. It's a damn good West Coast. Moxa's very good. That's out of Sacramento.
That's one of my favorite ones that we went to.
Yours is out of Lincoln,
California.
Lincoln, California. So, all right. No more bubblegum shrimp.
Yeah. So that was a real bummer.
That place dead to you?
I don't know. That my drink actually was pretty good. I will say it was like a strawberry lemonade, which I don't usually go for drinks with vodka in them because it just doesn't really agree with me. But it was actually a pretty legitimately good drink.
How about
what did we do after Bubba Gums?
we Ubered to Black Hammer.
Ooh, Black Hammer.
So
that was one of my probably the locations I liked in San Francisco.
So I should give a little disclaimer. When you're in San Francisco, you are drinking San Francisco prices.
Oh, yeah. Everything's stupid expensive.
So every beer at Black Hammer, and their beers were good, but every pint was $10.
Was it? Were they really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize they were that expensive.
Yeah, no, I paid the bar tab.
Oh, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, every beer was $10. So that adds up real quickly. That's the same with L.A. You know, you're paying L.A. prices. You're paying San Francisco prices. Seattle, not quite there yet, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
But there are places in Seattle that are getting a little pricey.
Well, it's like $6.50, $7 is pretty standard for beer in Seattle now.
Yeah, I think our Bickerson, who I like to use for everything in Seattle, their new location, I think they're $7 for every pint.
Okay.
Which is, a lot more expensive than what it used to be, but still $3 cheaper than San Francisco.
Well, rent ain't cheap in Seattle either.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't understand. I mean, how does anybody live in San Francisco?
I do not know. I don't know how people live in Seattle. Like in Seattle.
That's why people move to Auburn, Washington.
I know. That's very true.
All right. So how do you feel about Black Hammer? It says I only checked one beer. I did a terrible job checking in beers.
I know that I had the Cuddle Puddle. And then I think I had a lager.
Oh, you had the Mexican lager?
Yeah.
And I think I had a Kolsch.
Mm-hmm. We came home with the Cuddle Puddle.
Yeah,
it was
we did.
a hazy IPA or hazy pale.
We shared that last night.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. So then I had the Twin Galaxies, which was a double IPA. I gave it a 3.75. I think I gave most their beers a 3.75. I thought they were good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they're the most amazing brewery all the time. Maybe I was jaded after spending $10 a pint. But you kind of have to be in the mindset that that's what you're going to pay.
That's just what you're paying in
location,
in San Francisco.
Very cool.
Yeah. I liked the location
a
lot.
I mean, I liked it enough where we came home with 7 beers of theirs.
Yeah.
Came out with a 6-pack of 12 ounces of the Cuddle Puddle, and then a Fuck Putin inspired beer.
Yes. It's a
it's a Russian Imperial made with Ukrainian beets, I believe.
Yes.
We have not opened it. It has coffee in it, so I can't have it.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's going to be one I'm going to share with
you.
other folks. Yeah, whatever. I bought it without knowing. But close to Black Hammer is also 21st Amendment, so you can walk between the two.
Mm-hmm.
21st Amendment, I had a fantastic Fremont beer by accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't tell me it was a Fremont beer. That was the only one.
When you went to check it in, it was a Fremont beer.
Yeah,
wasn't
I couldn't
it?
find it. I was like, where the hell is this? And I look at it, then the only one that was named was a fucking Fremont beer. I don't know if it was a collaboration or it was just a guest tap, but it was the only hazy they had.
What do you have for food there?
I had the fish and chips, which were blah.
Okay.
Your sandwich, which was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay.
And the wings that were dry.
Well, you ordered dry wings.
Yeah, they said dry rub, but I think it came just naked.
They just said dry.
Mm.
Yeah, I noticed that when we
afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, bummer. Kind of overall underwhelming place. I've been there before, and you can get 21st Amendment like Hell or High Watermelon anywhere you want.
I had some kind of blood orange beer there. That was fine.
And yeah, big brewery. It's like their equivalent of. I mean, it's one of their big ones. It's their not quite a Elysian,
kind of said,
but they're
Deschutes,
yeah,
right?
Deschutes, Red Hook. I mean, it's still locally owned.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
Deschutes.
Yeah, Deschutes with the bigger one. Although I think I like Deschutes beers a little bit more.
Yeah.
Nothing against 21st Amendment. They're popular for a reason, and that's. They do actually have they do brew a little bit on site. It's not a huge facility. I know they have a bunch of spots around because you can't get that big without just one little tiny spot in San Francisco.
Right.
But it is walking distance to like where the Giants play. Mm-hmm. So I mean and everything's walkable. There's scooters everywhere in that town.
You can take the trolley or
the cable car.
The cable car.
We did. We touristed up.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually not a bad little way to get around San Francisco.
No, I mean, it was cheaper than probably Ubering down there. It took a while, but
we
fine.
learned don't go to the beginning.
Yeah,
Get on in the middle.
Go up the street a little bit because we probably still would be waiting in that line.
Yeah, we waited in line
stayed.
for like 10 minutes, and then we overheard him. He's like, well, we can't fill it up because we have to pick up guests along the way. And then there's like 2 stops within like 100 yards, and we just went to the next stop up, and they popped right on.
Yeah, we walked literally 2.5 blocks up.
Yeah.
And caught it, So
anyways, that's it. That's our podcast. Thanks, everybody.
Where did we go after
about
that?
2 spots. We finally got our car.
Okay.
And then we finally ventured out within San Francisco, but outside of the little main touristy area. And then we hit up Bear Bottle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I Bear Bottle was the first spot we hit that I really, really liked.
Okay.
So you can get them on Tavour. And when I was talking with a few friends, they're like, yeah, I haven't had the best experiences with them on Tavour. The beer was just okay. But when we got there, they had a lot of beer on tap. They had, arcades. They had a huge sitting area where it's kind of German style, where it's big, long tables.
Yeah.
They had a cat.
They did have a cat.
They had an outdoor area that was big. They had a food truck that was there. I took a video on Instagram, and you can see like their brewing system on there. But that was the first really, really good spot. And we came home with a bunch of their cans. But I was able to, and then they had a lot of West Coast. They had a lot of hazies. They had a lot of lighter beers too. I think I had one of their beers was like a golf themed. The Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Which is a light lager. Had their Surf Detective, which was a hazy that I thought was fine. I had no complaints about that whatsoever.
I think I had that one too.
Yeah, it was good.
And then I think I had a sour, but I don't remember which one it was.
I would highly recommend.
They also had wine there too. Like I think they make their own wine there too.
They have a beer called Jurassic Juice, but they didn't have it there at the time.
I got to play Jurassic Park pinball
And you were
there.
bad at it.
I'm terrible at pinball. I'm like embarrassingly bad.
It's not the hardest game in the world. I'm
bad at
all
you can do is like you flap the paddles. There's not like a lot of skill to it.
Flap it better then.
Anyway.
Can you not flap? You'd be terrible in the 1920s because you're not a flapper. Ooh, burn. I regret nothing about that joke.
Nice flapper burn.
In your face. All right, then Hop Oast Pub and Bar. That was one you were very confused about when we were there because you didn't know it was a tap room or a brewery. You're like, whose beers are these? I'm like, theirs? And they're like, I don't see the name, though. Sam, we're in a brewery. No, we're in a tap room. And then we were the only ones there. It was like us and then one other guy. But it was definitely your little corner. Are you trouble forgetting what it was?
Yeah, I'm having trouble remembering this one.
It was a little corner spot. We walked we had to park like 4 blocks away.
Oh yeah, the guy had laryngitis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember this.
I was gonna out him for having to be like, hi. Because he was worried that everybody thought he had COVID.
Yeah. No, he just had laryngitis. He was drinking tea. He was very nice.
Yeah, and actually, it was a nice little spot also.
That one felt like a neighborhood bar.
It was definitely your neighborhood, probably sat 20 people at most inside.
Mm-hmm.
No real outdoor area. So I had their King Genius, which was their cream ale. I did not give that a rating. And then their Misty Mountain Hop, which is nice because that's Lord of the Rings themed right there. 3.75. So wasn't the best brewery in the world, but it's a brewery that I would go back to just because of the intimate feeling in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I liked the location a lot. Like we were 2 people in there. There was one other guy who was in there who seemed like a regular. And like the bartender and the regular were engaging us in conversation and asking about our trip and stuff. And I thought that was kind of like a cool vibe that we got there.
I like that he was wearing a shirt from Black Hammer.
Oh yeah,
and he'd never.
And
been there
he didn't know what it was.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, just a brewery shirt. Like it's like 10 minutes away.
Yeah. we were there today.
Boy, I think that was it for San Francisco proper. So we hit up just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breweries in San Francisco.
Okay.
So we did a lot of our damage outside of the city. Because in San Francisco, well, it was odd because a lot of them weren't open because we were there the big day we went out, which is weird because it was Friday, but all of them opened kind of late, and we only had so much time to hit them up, and I wanted to hit Bear Bottle. But it was just from every ones that I had, because we went to a couple of bottle shops and places, and I was able to get beers and bring back to the hotel. Everything in San Francisco was just okay.
Yeah.
And in general, San Francisco has kind of a cool vibe to it. It's kind of like a little. To me, it felt like a little bit like a European city.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
But I don't know. San Francisco wasn't my jam.
I agree with you. I kind of I feel like every time we travel to like Denver or San Diego,
Denver feels like my jam.
Like we're always like we like come home and we're like, oh my god, I'm so excited. Like we should go back there. Like it's such an easy flight. Let's go. And I feel like we got back from San Francisco and we were like, check.
Yeah, we spent 2 days in San Francisco.
We're done with that.
Yeah.
Cellar Maker. You didn't talk about Cellar Maker.
Did I not check in any beers there? Oh, because I've been there before and it's on my like most recent list. Cellar Maker saves the day for
San Francisco.
Though.
Yeah. I would say they're probably the highest high.
Yeah, that's where, because we went to Cellar Maker after that because we wanted just to kind of end the night there close where we get back to the hotel with ease.
And that was the only one we went to the first time that we went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So.
And Cellar Maker was by far the best. And I feel bad for forgetting about it because it just wasn't on my list right away. But
I was like, I swear we went somewhere after that.
Yeah, Cellar Maker. So we hit 6 breweries. But Cellar Maker, great beers. Feels like a brewery when you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't as expensive as some other places. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't. I think it was like $8 for a pint.
Yeah.
Which is $1 cheaper than other places. But their hazies were just, they're rocking.
Mm-hmm. Cool little tap room, too.
And you can buy magnetic rolling papers there. So it's like you put your the rolling papers on the fridge and you can just roll weed,
grab
I guess.
Whenever you need a rolling paper?
Yeah.
All right.
So, but their beers there, we brought a whole bunch back, almost all hazies. It was a fantastic stop. I'd highly recommend going to Cellar Maker. If I were doing San Francisco again, there's a couple other places people recommended to me, but now, like after the fact, that I would try. But I would go to Bear Bottle. I would go to Cellar Maker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to go to I don't need to go to the other ones.
McKellar.
Like McKellar, yeah. So Black Hammer. I would go. I'd maybe go back to Black Hammer.
I would maybe go back to. If you're close to Black Hammer, go to Black Hammer.
Yeah, but then again, at the end of the day, the vibe was just, in San Francisco in general, was a little not my style. It was expensive. It was. I mean, for expensive, and we live in the Seattle area, so we're kind of accustomed to what expensive is. But
yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't quite put my finger on exactly what.
And we did a lot of the touristy things also. We rode the cable cars. We went down to the pier.
I liked the sea lions.
Yeah,
we did the aquarium.
The aquarium. And
it was real preachy.
It was. It was like, this is what the world would look like if you trashed it. And here's a bunch of fish living in trash.
I know. I felt so bad for the fish in the trash exhibit.
Hey, trash fish.
It's like,
here's what the
I
fish.
was like, what did these guys do?
You fish were bad. The naughty fish.
I know. They're in fish jail.
These fish. We put all the racist fish into this trash one.
It was very weird, but the sea lions outside I thought were pretty cool. So.
Yeah. Well, they were just fighting each other the entire time.
Well, and then the one laying on its back.
Yeah,
like,
just beached himself.
Tummy. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So after that, we made our way to Sacramento. Sacramento, Spanish for the Mentos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big Mentos factory there. I haven't been to Sacramento since the last time I was in Sacramento. Crystal Pepsi was still around, the first go around.
Oh, okay.
So I was youngin' when Sacramento last time I was there, and I don't remember anything about Sacramento. I thought it was in the mountains. It is flat as ass out there.
It's a weird analogy. Flat as ass.
I'm flat as a ass.
Okay.
Flat ass. I don't know. It's flat. It's super flat.
It is flat. It is very flat. And like when you're driving into Sacramento, you're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
And now I'm just getting closer because
there's no mountains. There's no hills.
Yeah, there's nothing between you and Sacramento.
Once you get like 40 minutes past it, it's really pretty again. You're in the hills.
Mm-hmm.
Sacramento. Anyways, we stopped.
First one was Urban Roots.
Urban Roots. So when we were going there, Sam had been there before, and she was telling me like, the beer is fine. The barbecue's really good.
The barbecue's very good.
I thought the beer was good too.
The beer was much better this time around.
Did you choose wrong the first time?
I mean, I have chosen wrong the first time around, and I only had one beer there last time, so I'm basing.
Fucking embarrassing.
I was basing it off of one beer, so
that's super embarrassing for you.
I don't remember which two I had, but I had like I had a West Coast IPA and then a hazy. And they were both really good. I think the second one was like the the title was something like non-binary or something, or like your non-binary friends or something like that. It was a pride beer. And it was really good.
I think we got some of that to go, maybe. I don't remember. Anyways, started with the IPA there, right. Then had their 14%, which is a Czech Pilsner, like a 4% beer, but they called it 14%.
Oh, okay.
And then I had their Traveler's Welcome 3, which was an Imperial there. But I kind of danced around. I had a normal, like a traditional IPA. Then I started rocking light stuff and then heavy stuff because why not? It was warm. It was nice. It was
warm, but it was like pleasant.
Yeah, and it had the barbecue, and that's some of the best smoked turkey I've ever had.
Yeah, you were raving about that turkey the rest of the trip.
And I told everybody to get the smoked turkey, and so we were the first ones there. And when everybody got there behind us, like 10, 15 minutes later, they had already sold out.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that turkey is like, get the damn turkey there. It's all barbecue.
I got the brisket tacos, and they were very good.
And then if you get the mac and cheese, realize it is dense and rich as hell.
Yeah, that's what I got the last time we went, just like as my meal was like the mac and cheese, and it showed up, and I was like, oh my God. I'm going to take 3 bites of this and be incredibly full.
In theory, we actually only went to one brewery in Sacramento.
Was it Urban Roots?
Yeah, Urban Roots, because Moxa is actually in Rockland, California.
Okay. It's very close, though.
Yeah, it's like, popping down to Tukwila or something from there. But Moxa also fantastic.
I know. Aren't they so good?
They're so good.
That was my favorite place that we went to the first time when I went down there to help with the wedding planning.
And a very like nondescript place, like kind of in a like
it's like a strip mall.
It's like a standalone building outside of a strip mall.
But it's like
but it's huge.
It's next to like a Pep Boys like auto care place.
Yeah,
like it's
like
kind of in
a
like
Les Schwab type place.
It's like just kind of tucked in the corner over there, but it's a pretty big tap room that they have there, and like a big outdoor area.
It's all parking lot, but
yeah. But it's really cool, and like the beer there is so good.
Yeah, we stayed there for a while, and then we met up with a whole bunch of friends there too. I mean, I guess technically they went with us too, Urban Roots, but we all just kind of like, we're gonna go there, we're gonna sit, we're gonna drink, and I had their Uncle Chanted Elixir, which is an IPA, delicious. The Citra Showcase, which was probably my favorite beer, is one of my favorite beers in the entire trip.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the Welcome Young one, which is another hazy. That was also good. All 3 of those just slapped.
Did they?
Slapperton. Again, Sacramento. First off, it's like we flew into San Francisco, and everybody else for this wedding flew into Sacramento. But it's a real short flight. It was a little pricey flying in, but just because the prices for gas is so damn expensive right now. But it's a short flight, and there's a lot of breweries in Sacramento. And those ones that we hit in that area were better than San Francisco.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think that...
Cellar Maker was one of the better ones, but I think Moxa, Urban Roots, and then if you get into that area, you get Moonraker, which we'll talk about in a second, and Slice.
Mm-hmm.
Better.
Yeah. I think the beers outside of San Francisco were better than the beers inside of San Francisco.
Cellar Maker can only save so much, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It just was my opinion on it.
All right, and then the cream of the crop, I guess. The best one, the 3-way of 2021.
The whole reason that we were there at all.
Cool. The wedding itself was at Moonraker Brewing.
Yeah.
The dog's back on Sam again.
Hi. Okay, you're going to get tangled in the wires. Okay. All right, we're good. We're good.
All right. And guess how many beers I checked in from Moonraker?
Well, I think they had like 7 on tap at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say 8.
9.
Oh, okay.
And I stopped checking in beers because I went a little rogue after a while, but when you're at a wedding, there's a lot of beers to be consumed.
Yes.
We weren't driving.
No. And you actually...
I didn't drink as much as, let's say, other people did. Not you, but other people.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
But checked in 9. I don't know how I can just say all the delicious ones that I had. But some of my favorites, the Umbrella Sky Project, which was one of their hazies.
Okay.
Stratavisions.
The Electric Lettuce was on tap.
The Electric Lettuce. Bubble Dust was another really, really good one.
Okay.
Everybody's had Cabana Hammock. All those were hazies, and they just rock it. There's a reason why this brewery was on the 3-way in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, and also thanks friends for getting married at a really good brewery.
I mean, we did it for them so they could do it for us, right?
True, that's fair.
So anyways, how did you feel about Moonraker? Like, when you get to Moonraker, it's definitely in an industrial park.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it's much until you get in, and it's very adorable inside.
Well, like once you kind of like walk into the outdoor beer garden area, I feel like it's like a little oasis in the middle of like a parking lot.
Yeah, they definitely did a good job with the design of that whole brewery.
Yeah, it does. Well, it doesn't feel like when you're sitting outside there, it doesn't feel like you're sitting outside in an industrial complex. It feels like you're sitting outside in like a garden.
They make it a little tiki themed.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a nice little venue spot.
Mm-hmm. They've got like a private room in the back that you can rent out, and then there's like a little barrel area where our friends actually had their ceremony. That was really cute and like nice little backdrop.
If you care about your friends, get married in a brewery.
Yeah, I agree.
We get to go in next week, 2 weeks.
Next weekend, we
get to go to a brewery wedding.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. That's the type of weddings I want to go to for the rest of my life. So if you get married in a brewery. If you're
friends with us and you're gonna get married,
do it for me.
Yeah, brewery.
And then we could be the closest friends of all time. Don't ask me to be any more weddings. I'm glad I was in this wedding, and I love Schmatty.
Yeah.
I'm so done with being in weddings. I'm so tired of wearing hot ass suits.
I like loved being in this wedding and had a great time with it, but I think I'm officially retiring from
I think I'm too old
being in weddings.
Too old for being in a wedding. That's a young person's game. Let people in their 20s be in weddings. People in their 30s, let's just drink and enjoy it.
And luckily everybody that like I'm related to is married.
Yeah.
So anyone that I'm related to who
from here
would
on out,
want me to be in their wedding.
From here on out, it's second weddings, and nobody cares about second weddings.
I will happily go to your second wedding. I just don't want to be in it.
If it's at a brewery.
Yeah. Well, not your second wedding.
You don't want to be invited to my second wedding?
I mean, unless we're renewing our vows.
Being real lame about it.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of being a buzzkill.
Sorry. Anyway.
Well, now this took a depressing turn because Sam won't let me get married to somebody else. Ass. All right, here's one of the few places that I went to that you did not go to, the Auburn Ale House.
Okay.
In Auburn, California.
Moonraker
is also in Auburn, California, and Knee Deep is right across the street from Moonraker, but I never went to it because their hours are dumb and they close at 8. If you're a brewery, don't close at 8. Jesus Christ, it's not that hard.
You went to Auburn Ale House before the wedding, was that right?
Yeah, I brought a crowler to come back for because when we were getting ready, or right before we got ready, when everybody was watching The Kid.
Yeah.
We were I brought back a crowler from there. I actually had one there, then brought back a crowler.
Oh, is that what you guys were drinking out of the paper cups out on the patio?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of watching you guys out there when I was in the hair and makeup bacchanalia.
Yeah, we Auburn. I had two kind of nondescript. It's more of a restaurant than it is a brewery, but they do make their own beer. But think of it like a standalone Ram.
Okay.
Where people are, but the thing with it, one thing I noticed there is they do mimosa flights.
Oh.
So they give you like a bottle of champagne and then like 5 different types of juices to mix your champagne with. Oh. I didn't really see it, but I know it was like I saw like a pineapple and orange and probably like a guava or pog or who knows. Probably not apple juice. I feel like that's weird. Apple juice with champagne. That's just called apple cider.
I wonder what that would be like.
A cider.
Yeah, probably. Anyway.
I think apple juice with a little effervescence, a little bubbles.
Yeah.
Come on,
so
it's a cider. Yeah. It's like we went to Finn River for the first time out in Chimicum.
Yes, we did. That was adorable.
Places are adorable. I could care less about ciders.
Yeah, the barrel-aged one that I had, though, that was like the 9% cider, that was pretty good. Like Fire and Barrel or something like that.
Boy, we still have a bunch of breweries to get through.
Okay, sorry. We're not here to talk about Port Townsend.
All right, so here's probably one of my top 3 breweries that we went there, Slice.
Yes.
Out in the middle of freaking nowhere, Lincoln, California.
Yes. So that's what I'm drinking right now. And Slice was one of the ones that Nikki and I went to when we were doing the wedding planning. And I loved it.
It's an adorable.
It's so good.
The town's cute. It is in the middle of fucking nowhere. You take the longest, windiest road to get there, but it's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
It's adorable. Middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is adorable. And the beer is really good.
The beer is really good. The
I really
tiny
want
ass
them,
tap room.
I really want them to have pizza though.
Yeah, you're called Slice, and you're like a pizza logo. Like they had a bunch of like pizza themed shit in their brewery.
Did they?
Yes, backed by the brew kettle.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you're facing the right direction.
No, I was facing the bathrooms.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna watch people just drop hot lagers?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
And the water machine.
Yes.
Don't drink water in California. It's gross.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Yeah, and also they don't have any.
Yeah, well, that's
They
why
just
it tastes.
don't have any water.
That's why it tastes like shit.
Yeah, so drink the beer because that's been, at least been treated. Yeah, but Slice, get the hazies. They had they had a lot of beers on tap. They probably had 15
at least, yeah.
beers,
They've
and
got
probably
2 big screens.
2/3 of them were of just West Coast or hazies. I didn't even venture to try the other stuff because I just got West Coast or St. Hazies.
Yeah, they had a sour on tap that our friends had, and they really liked that. But I think pretty much everything else was West Coast or hazies. And then they have a pretty good selection of things to go. Like they don't do crowlers or anything like that, but they have a list of like what cans they have available. And I think I actually got the last 4-pack of the Astounding Mystery.
Okay.
So that was exciting.
I haven't had that one yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
That is the tiniest brewery, though. There's probably like 10 seats in that thing.
Yeah, it is really small, and there's like
no outdoor seating or anything.
Technically, there's an outdoor area, but it's like
a roll-up door, and it's
fit like maybe 4 people.
Anybody
out there.
who's been to Four Generals Brewing in Renton?
Yeah, it's like that,
but smaller.
Yeah.
Anyways, I really enjoy that place. So if I had like my 3 favorite, it would have been Moonraker, Moxa / Cellar Makers or Slice. Like
I would say Moonraker, Mosca, and Slice.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my top 3.
Cellar Maker close though.
Cellar Maker would be close, but
then we worked our way back a little bit. Oh, there's another one that I really loved too. Blue Note being one on the way back. That's in Woodland. We didn't stay there very long. I had 2 beers. They were just fine. Cool spot, music themed. They had live music going on.
Mm-hmm.
Huge, kind of warehousey feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing wrong. It was packed. They had a food truck out in front. Yeah, I had nothing about it. But I had 2 like schooners because we were driving.
Yeah.
So nothing to write home about. But
if you're passing through Woodland, it's a fine stop.
Yeah, and that's literally just north of Sacramento.
Yeah.
Like we're kind of on the way back, and then we finally made our way back to Berkeley and Oakland.
Okay.
Fieldwork.
Okay.
Fieldwork was awesome.
Fieldwork was great. That was probably my favorite in the Berkeley area.
I mean, we went to 3 in Berkeley.
What were the other 2?
Jupiter and Hoi Polloi.
Oh. Okay.
Hoi something Greek, and I feel like I should know this.
We have one of their cans.
Hoi
Polloi or something.
Polloi,
yeah.
So Fieldwork was fantastic in Berkeley. Berkeley's adorable. It's a college town.
Yes.
A lot of things to do if you are a youngin'.
Funniest little Targets in that town.
Yeah, it's just like 7-Eleven Targets.
Yeah, they're like just like these little mini Targets that have just what you would need in a dorm room and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
But it works.
And then Jupiter.
Okay, which one was Jupiter?
Jupiter is...
was that the one we went to after dinner?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that place was cool.
It was cool. I actually had been there before. I sat down, I was like, man, this looks familiar. Because last time I was in the Bay Area was like 10 years prior. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I've been in the Bay Area, outside of our little trip we did for the Stanford game.
Yeah.
But we were in San Francisco for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And Berkeley.
And we were at Cellar Maker for all 3 of those minutes.
Mm-hmm. Jupiter, though, but yeah, when UW played in a bowl game there back in like 2012.
Okay.
We went there.
Okay.
The beer was fine.
I thought it was a cool spot. It had I think a full bar there
had a full
too.
bar, yep.
I didn't have beer there. I think I had
wine
wine there because I was getting kind of beered out by that point in the trip.
And actually, what it had the coolest thing of was an outdoor area, but we didn't go there. We sat at the bar.
Oh,
but when I went to the bathroom, I poked my head out, and the outdoor area was real chill, like really, really cool. So I would go back there again. Berkeley in general, I'd go back.
Yeah,
if you want to get a bagel, Berkeley's the place to go.
Oh my God, that bagel place was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the name of that place?
Bagel Street.
Bagel Street Bagels.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so good.
It's a little chain in the Bay Area, I guess. There's 4 or 5 of them.
I had like a pretty sour tummy for the first couple days of the trip, and that was probably the first full meal that I ate was at that bagel place, and it was so good. He's playing with the donut.
Mm-hmm. And the last one, Hoi Polloi Brew Pub and Beat Lounge. Very cool vibe spot.
Oh yeah, that was like the music one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
yeah.
they like vinyl, everything was kind of vinyl-y and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, that place was cool.
It wasn't very big. Also, it kind of felt like more of a big city place where it was kind of the exposed brick, where the building was tall but narrow.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like envisioned like everything in New York or the East Coast looks like.
It kind of felt to me like a place that you would find in like Chicago.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why, but
yeah.
like I was like I could eat pizza here in Chicago.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Like
that was a cool spot. The burgers were fine. It was the last stop of the night.
I also didn't have beer there.
You had wine.
I had wine there.
So that doesn't count for you.
Yeah, but
and then it's the name itself. I thought it was Hawaiian at first until I looked it up, and it's actually Greek, and it stands for the masses or like the people. So it's like where the people go. So it's kind of a derogatory term for poor people in Greek.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think, but the whole idea is like it's for the people and not for like patricians or the rich.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine with me.
And then our last 3 stops. I have 4 stops, sorry, but the last 3 we moved down into Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
And these were the coolest 3 themed, I think.
Yeah.
I like breweries with a good theme, but these definitely had hey, Bjorn, knock it off.
Hey.
He's eating cat food.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Well, now we have me yelling at the dog on our podcast. All right, the first one would be Line 51. Bus terminal themed.
That place was cool because it had a bus in it.
It had a bus, so their cold storage, it was a bus.
And you can get in the bus.
You get in the bus and you can pretend you're driving the bus. I have a very
dorky picture of me.
Sam driving a bus. If your job doesn't work out, you can always become a fake bus driver.
Yep.
The beer itself was good. Again, like the Oakland stops in general, I appreciated more than San Francisco stops.
I don't know. To me, Oakland felt a little bit like Georgetown.
Yes.
Where it was like a little bit more laid back than San Francisco, and like I don't know. I just liked the vibe of it a lot more. I just felt like everything was just like a little bit more chill. But yeah, I
more working class people there in Oakland opposed to the kind of up your ass people of San Francisco. And I kind of have a weird irrational hate for San Francisco just because of sports too.
Okay. I don't have that irrational
hate. Like the
hate
49ers can eat the biggest boner for all I care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And in Oakland, nobody cares about the A's. They don't have the Raiders anymore. So, like, who cares? So, but Oakland always had Oakland definitely has more of a vibe, a little more relaxed vibe than the kind of the fast pace of San Francisco.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I can't. I don't know if I can quite put my finger on exactly what I liked more about it.
Maybe because of Federation and its Star Trek theme.
I did like that. I mean, I don't know. To me, I guess like for San Francisco being as like we're San Francisco, it's a pretty dirty city.
It did stink there.
Like. Yeah, it doesn't smell great, and it's pretty, like...
And there's a lot of people fishing in that bay, and that bay looks gross as hell.
Oh, I know. That's where the trash fish came from.
Yeah. When you think of the Simpsons Three-Eyed Fish, that's what I think that's coming out of that thing.
Oh, I was thinking of the trash fish at the aquarium.
Oh, those fucking trash fish. You guys are trash fish. Anyways, Federation, cool. All 3 of these breweries are pretty close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
These last 3.
Yeah, they were. I mean, we drove between them, but you could easily walk between them. I think. Federation had a really cool outdoor area. They had like old shipping containers that they had kind of like modified to just be like shaded areas with tables in them and stuff.
Like Drew Brew.
Yeah, kind of like what Drew Brew does. But I mean, I imagine it probably gets pretty hot there at times in the summer, and if you want to have a beer outdoors and be in the shade, Federation's probably a good place to try to do that.
Mm-hmm. And then original pattern.
Yes.
Artistic theme. That one felt like a brewery.
I got a hat there.
I got a beers to go there.
I liked their beer there a lot. I thought they were probably one of the higher
They actually
of the beer places.
They won a
that we went to.
GABF bronze for their New Zealand IPA, which we were able to get
Oh,
while we
yeah,
were there.
you brought that back,
and I brought
didn't
that
you?
back.
Yeah.
And that was a very, very good beer. No complaints about that place. Really cool vibes. Kind of an old brick building. Also, we were able. That's where if you go on our Instagram, you can see that's put a Bjorn magnet there.
Yes.
And they're very okay with that. They're like, oh yeah, put it there, yeah. So Bjorn is now at Original Pattern, and their beers were fantastic.
Yes, they were really good. I think of the places that we went to in Oakland, I think they had the best beer.
And we met a delightful couple there.
Yeah, they were very nice to us.
Really, really wanted us to have a kid.
Yes, she asked us 3 times when we were going to have kids.
But they were nice, and they're like, first they started like, so where should we be going around here? And they lived in like the South Bay, and we're like, I don't know, we're from Seattle, and they're like, oh, so where should we go for our next beer?
Yeah.
And they actually recommended a spot for us, as that's where we went to at the end, which was Blue Oak.
Yes.
On our way to the airport out of SFO, we had to kind of down it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And get onto our flight, but
we were maybe cutting it a little close on our flight back, I think.
I still had time for a beer or two at the airport.
Yeah, I mean,
because we got through security so damn quick.
Yeah, it was just the one thing that I wasn't really anticipating was when we dropped the rental car off in San Francisco, the train to get from the rental car area to the terminal takes like a little bit longer.
It's like 15 minutes. Yeah. So that was our journey into the Bay Area / Sacramento. We stopped by a lot. We did a lot of things.
Overall, how much would you be interested in going back to the Bay Area?
I'd go back proximity, but it's lower on my list of places I want to go back. I'd rather go back to San Diego again right now.
Yeah.
I'd rather go back to Denver because I just love Denver.
Yeah,
I'd rather go to Juneau.
Well, good news.
Well, there's 6 breweries, and we'll tell you all about them.
I would go back to that area again. I don't know if I would care to do San Francisco too much again, but I would maybe fly into Sacramento and do Sacramento to Reno or something.
That would be a fun thing to do.
Drive
go to Reno and then go visit Lake Tahoe area.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe drive through the South Lake Tahoe area and then end in Reno and fly out.
Let's put that on the agenda.
Okay. Deal.
That's a good thing to do in the fall too.
Yeah.
Just in general, we're kind of booked up for the summer.
Kinda.
I got a lot of camping coming up soon.
You have so much camping in July.
Yeah. It's teacher life. I have time off to do things, and camping is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know which beer I can drink when I camp? All of the beer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so do you have a beer of the week?
I'm going to go with a,
Beer. Remember, this week does not include San Francisco.
It does not include San Francisco?
You can, but I have mine, and mine is local-ish. Can I give mine so you don't steal it?
Yeah, what is it?
3-Way, baby.
Oh,
it's 3-Way season.
That is a good one.
Props out to Tommy at Ravenna for getting...
I know. Congratulations to Ravenna and Alvarado Street for being this year's 3-Way. And they just officially made the announcement of the hazy that's going to drop next week.
I was quasi-floating that out today to go there to do it, to drink it.
Is it out today?
Ravenna's dropping it today.
Oh, then let's go do that.
But we could also go to Brewmasters on Wednesday for it, too.
Okay, well... Now we're just talking about what we're doing tonight.
Yeah, but we're also going to Ballard tomorrow.
That's true. We could also swing by Ravenna tomorrow.
See? Unless you really need to get that release.
No, it's fine. I've probably had it in a beta before.
I mean, you had the betas. You haven't had the haze yet. So do you have yourself a beer of the week?
I'm going to go with the Ravenna that I had last night at Brewmasters.
And what was it called?
I don't remember.
Good job, bud. Did you check it in?
No.
You suck.
I know.
Do you even have a beer podcast, bud?
Yeah. I checked in that really weird table beer that Leah brought last night.
The one that tastes like pickles?
Yep. Day.
Oh. Did you want Day from the pickle company?
Yeah. She did text me this morning to wellness check me, and she was like, "You feeling okay?"
From that pickle bear?
Yeah. Well, she told me last night she was going to call or text me and check on me. Me and Ben, because we were the only ones that actually drank it.
Yeah, it looked and sounded disgusting.
Looked fine. Tasted weird. Tasted like pickles. Full-blown tasted like pickles. And not in a great way.
All pickles are disgusting.
overall, I think a lot of the beers that got brought to share last night may have had some misses in there.
I brought beer.
I didn't think the one that Ben brought was very good either.
Oh, that's embarrassing for everybody.
That's okay. He didn't like it either.
Oh. Do you have any beer news that we need to talk about? I have only one thing of news, and it's sad news.
What is
The
that?
Pretty Fair Beer closing in Ellensburg.
Oh, yeah. Well, I already kind of said the only beer news that I had, which was that the Hazy 3-Way is dropping.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's move on to your downer news to wrap this up with.
That was just it.
Pretty Fair Beer's
Yeah.
closing. Okay. Well, hopefully somebody will be able to swing by and...
I hope that's public news. But, you know, I've heard that from 2 sources now, so I think it's fine.
Swoop in and actually buy the location, be able to buy them out.
Yeah,
That'd
someone
be
who,
cool.
cause, and I met the guy, and he's the nicest guy. He just opened it up during the middle of COVID, and that's been tough. But they did a lot. They renovated that building. It looks fantastic. Someone just with capital needs to come in and buy it up, and they'll do well, because there's no good place to drink in Ellensburg.
Other than Pretty Fair Beer.
Pretty Fair Beer. There's that new brewery opening up, I guess.
There's like a couple cocktail lounges, but it's the best place to get beer.
Yeah.
Like,
They
by
brought a
far.
good beer
Yeah.
without having to drive to Yakima, because nobody gives a shit about Iron Horse. I don't even know if they exist anymore.
Well, aren't they trying to do like a venue location
I don't know.
kind of a thing?
They fucked up. I don't know what
I
they're
don't
doing.
understand why they did that. Like, I feel like the whole thing that they had going for them was that they were in downtown Ellensburg.
There's
and
a
they
new-
were like, especially during COVID when you could like sit outside there,
Mm-hmm.
get a burger from the tab to go, sit outside there.
They had a restaurant there
eat,
that they never had open for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know.
They had a series of swing and misses.
I don't follow their news very closely, so I'm not really sure if they have
I haven't-
something exciting in
I
the
haven't
works.
I haven't cared about them since like 2011.
But to me, it seems like odd that they would close that downtown location. That seemed like it was again. There's like other than Pretty Fair Beer, there was nowhere to get beer downtown.
What's
so.
the other shit one over there?
Ellensburg Brewing.
Whipsaw.
Oh yeah.
Whipsaw can eat. Fuck them.
I
A bunch of racist assholes.
Yeah, I liked them until they like doubled down on the mask thing and like got real weird,
racisty about
mega.
it. Yeah. So just don't. Your brewery, just don't be fucking weird. Just make beer. Make delicious beer, and their beer is fine.
Yeah.
They went from one of the biggest breweries to not one of the biggest breweries over that dumb miscue. And I'm very, very passionate about it because I like Ellensburg has a spot in my heart because I lived there for 4 years in college.
Well, and I feel like maybe not now, but like typically around this time of year, when it's like rainy and shitty in Seattle, it's like a quick 90 minutes to get over there, and it's usually sunny and it's usually nice out, and so it's kind of like a quick, easy way to get away for like a day or something, and then to just kind of have it like, I don't know. There's nowhere to go there now.
All right. This podcast is about 30 minutes longer than I thought it was going to be.
Well, how long are we at
We're
now?
at 52 minutes.
Wow, that's long for you.
Yeah.
Oh. Up top. Yeah.
Bye. Oh, wait, hold on. Follow me at the Matt Holt on anything. Or follow our Instagram, which is Tastes Like Homebrew or Wobble Journey. I don't have a fucking idea.
It tastes like homebrew.
Neat. I made it. Probably.
Yeah.
And then follow us on Untapped or follow me on MySpace.
Oh, MySpace.
Yep.
All
It
right.
is Big Boner 69. Probably. I was in middle school when it came out. The boobs. Bye, everybody.